When you install two modules together or more, you typically have a panel box located in one of those modules. If you have a basement, that electrical panel is going to usually be installed in the basement, and so what it does is it hangs from a wire coil to be dropped into the foundation as you lower the unit. During transport, it will typically be installed upside down on the back of one of that module. It will be untacked or let loose, so it will just slide into the foundation when it is installed. Once all the modules are installed on the foundation, if it's a single ranch style home, the other side will in most cases have a whip or a wire coil on that side to attach into the panel box once it's installed. These wires on that side will be numbered. So in typical installations, that wire is numbered on that side. So if it's going to circuit 13, the end of that wire will be numbered 13. In some cases, you might also have circuits that need to be completed in the module themselves. So if there's a great room in one module that extends into the other, you're going to have a circuit that maybe have lights or going to have or three-way lights, or you're going to have wires for the plugs, and so now you have a junction box. So junction boxes are typically lettered. So again, numbers are going to be for direct connections to the panel box correlating with the breaker that it's going to. Letters are going to be notated for junction boxes. Some factories, instead of using junction boxes, will be using something called an amp connector or a Molex connector instead. Now, if you have a two-story home, as the second floor is installed, there will be conduits installed in the first floor modules that are going to allow you to drop that wire coil and those two modules down through that connection or that conduit through into the basement, so it can be also connected into the panel. Again, those wires will be numbered to go to the corresponding box or circuit. Now, once all that gets there, what most electricians want to do is be neat. And they're going to take these long wire coils and they want to cut them and staple them to a board before they lead them into the panel box themselves. Don't let your electrical contractor, especially if this is his first modular connection, cut those wires without transferring that circuit number to the wire after where he's going to cut, or prior to where he's going to cut it off at. Otherwise, he's going to turn a 3-hour job into a 3-day job, as he has to backtrace each one of those wires to figure out which circuit it could be. This has been done before, so please make sure you work with your electrical contractor to teach him about modular construction for electrical. In addition, most factories aren't going to install outside or lighting because it's going to exceed the 14 or 16 foot shipping length or width. So each of your electrical contractor is going to have to install all of the exterior electrical boxes or electrical fixtures. On the interior, each factory is slightly different. Surface mount lights will typically be installed. Globes are typically not installed, and they do this because if they're shaking and rattling during transport, if they fall, they'll break on the floor, and to avoid breakage, they'll typically ship them in the original packaging, which you'll find is part of the ship loose in the floor. In bathrooms, those globes or those bulbs have the tiny screws. Some factories will not install the globes, but they leave the screws in. You have to look for those screws immediately because they typically fall into the sinks or onto the floor. So please examine your bathrooms upon delivery to find those screws. But for the most part, electrical is an insert tab A and slot B process upon delivery. It's just teaching your electrical contractor the first modular, or during the first modular installation.